Well, another month has gone by and I don't really have much to show for it. I've made a lot of progress, I've fixed probably about 50 bugs this week alone, but I don't have a new build ready to share, and that's partly because the bar keeps rising. Early on I would have been happy to share a playtest with known bugs and missing features, but now I feel like each new release needs to be at least as solid and complete as the one before it. And the last build, about 9 months ago, was pretty solid. If I had realized it would take 9 months to get from there to where I am now, I would not have thought this revamp was worth it. Sure, it improves a lot of things about the handling of liquids and some other things, but it's not 9 months worth of improvement. When I look back and ask myself why it took so long, I don't really have a good explanation, other than, to be honest, while I don't really want to talk about my personal life much on this channel, I've been struggling with mental health a bit. And recently I have reason to believe that I have some neurodivergent traits that might explain some of my struggles, but I haven't been diagnosed with anything yet, so take that with a grain of salt. Maybe I'll talk about it more in the future when I know more and understand more. But in the meantime, the important thing is I'm making progress, both on my personal issues and on the game. So I do have a couple of things I can show. First off, liquid rendering is much improved. Water looks more like water, but I'm going to mix in something more opaque so it's easier to see. When I add a solid now, you can actually get a sense of depth, as the lower layers are more obscured by the liquid above them. It's a small thing, but for me, making it more realistic makes it more satisfying. But this isn't purely a visual effect. Any reactions between solid and liquid now only happen for the particles that are actually submerged. Second, the vacuum has been changed, so instead of just getting rid of stuff, it's collected up into a little ball you can pop out when it's full. Though I do plan on doing some more work here to show the fill progress where this gradient animation is, and add some audio cues too. I think sometime soon I'm going to devote an entire day to just filling in a lot of missing sound effects. Third, I'm trying out a change for how you pick up food from plates and cookware. After all this time, I think I found a much simpler way. If you grab near the edge of the holder, you get the holder, but if you grab anywhere in the middle, you get the food. That way you can never end up in a situation where it's hard to grab a plate because it's completely covered up. And finally, this one is so trivial, but there's an exploding ingredient now. I'm still deciding what all should trigger the explosion, but for now it's damage or heat. And the point is just to add a new kind of constraint. Some ingredients that you can't use all of your tools on, and so you have to think of different ways to manipulate them to make them work in your dish. Now to be clear, these weren't the only improvements and additions I've been making as part of the revamp, but the rest just aren't ready to show yet. And I guess that's it. It's really not much. But again, once I get past debugging this big revamp, I do expect things to move a lot faster, and that'll probably help with my mental health as well. So as always, it really helps me out if you hit the like button, spread the word, and subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, thanks for watching.